Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with
Kd and Kersey.
Now hold on to your butts. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. Prepare to have an autographical orgasm. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, not bad. Just been just chilling, really. I've been watching stuff about like serial killers and stuff on YouTube and predators, sexual predators. Yeah, so nothing too much.
Do you ever get because I have like I think a lot of people have an interest in that. Like, do you ever get like questions for people? It's like, why do you watch that kind of thing? It's like
Yeah, like because like I suffer from like, really bad anxiety, to be fair, man. And like people are always like, "Oh, why do you watch that stuff?" And it's just like, I don't know, it's like fly on the wall kind of thing, isn't it? And,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, but
it's what I said. It's like when you're going past a car crash and you know you shouldn't look, but you can't help it.
yeah.
You know?
It's one of those, like, every day you see something out. Like, there was a car crash outside our house at, like, 3 a.m. Nothing touched my car, but I went outside anyway just to go and see, what the hell's going on, man? What's going on?
I love how what a positive start we've got to here.
It's good, man. It's good. Yeah, but all good.
I remember seeing some stuff actually that you posted on Facebook. You're quite a horror fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I love anything horror, man. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I started on like horror films, and now I've moved to like true crime stuff, and
true life is horror. To be fair.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
Have you ever? The reason I asked that I was saying that, have you seen a series on Netflix? Because for ages now, since the whole pandemic, I haven't been able to get into like any kind of fiction series or anything like that.
Yeah, same, man. Same.
I finally managed to with this program on Netflix, and it's like based around a horror kind of slasher film. It's called Slasher.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check that out for ages. Absolutely. Like, doesn't it like play homage to like all the 80s, 70s kind of slasher films that we know and love today?
Yes and no. It's like it does. It's very much it's a slasher film, like this classic kind of slasher film. But at the same time, it's really believable. And it's really smart as well, like the characters, the way they make you feel sorry for certain dickhead characters. It's really good, to be honest.
Fair. I've been meaning to check it out for ages, but I'm like you. I haven't watched anything like fiction. I know that's like kind of a fictional TV series. I mainly watch like that kind of stuff about Innocence Files is a good one, actually. I've still yet to see Unsolved Mysteries because over the past 2 weeks I've been watching Twin Peaks with
never watched that.
So man, it's dark. It's so weird, bizarre. Is that a bass guitar I see in the background?
That is, yeah.
Is it a Marlin?
It's a Rockburn, which I think is a cheap Argus make.
I remember Rockburn, yeah. Cash Converters used to sell loads of them. I remember picking up one of my first. I think mine was. Is it Encore or Eastcore? I can't remember what it's called now, but they're very similar. Yeah, I think it's Encore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I picked up one of those. That was not my first bass. But yeah.
That's the one annoying thing with like being a drummer, because it's like very hard to own a drum kit, and even if you do, it's ridiculously hard to be in a position where you can play it.
Yeah, man, I'd hate to be a drummer just because noise levels, people complaining, and where the hell do you put your drum kit?
Yeah, well, you'd pack it away like in a corner somewhere. That's all I've been able to do with it. But we are the attractive ones in the band. We can't help it.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. and the dumb ones, but whatever. And the late ones.
Not always.
Yeah.
Not always. The amount of bands that I've been in and guitarists have been the worst for it, man. I won't worry. It's just been late and the dumb ones.
Yeah. Or the vocalist.
Vocalist is usually late. But in my band now, like my vocalist is my guitarist, so. He's normally on. We're always on time, to be fair. I think we've been in that many bands now. We're just like, make sure I'm on time, man. Make sure I'm on time.
Oh, is this like one that you've been like with a few of them before and that? Then just project now. What is your band name again now?
Rattle Chap.
Rattle Chap.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's it's a cool name. It's gone.
Yeah, man.
I like it. It wasn't chosen by me. They've been going for a couple of like a year or so, and I've only joined recently. So but it's so far so good.
I can't say anything. I was in a band called Spaceman at one point, and a band called Sabertooth Tiger. So
that's a pretty cool name. Wasn't one of your bands called DB10 as well, if I remember?
Yeah,
right?
that was the actual band that we did more with.
Oh, okay. Because I remember DB10 on and around Facebook. I never got around to going to a gig of yours, but I remember. Was
ages ago now, man. I put a thing up for it yesterday on the quiz. Like I used, I was doing like a guest pop song where do you know Frog Leap Studios?
I think so. It rings a bell.
Yeah, they do loads like metal covers of like pop over the songs. I was doing that, like playing a portion, saying guess what it is, And then the last one I did the DB10 Poker Face one. So
that's cool, man. That's cool.
That's what I was thinking about it all.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
Nostalgic, man.
That's cool, man.
I guess we should make a point about this then. So
come on then.
I never ever ask if you'll be mine. Blank my blank. This is life.
Touch my bum. This is life.
And welcome to KD's Comedian Quiz Off, the show where I take 4 of the UK's top comedians, pit them against each other to see whose brain is better at withholding useless information for all of your enjoyment, basically.
If I bash my fist, will you let me?
Simon, you're going to kick yourself. $39.99.
I was going to put $33.99.
I'll click weird.
Are you still in relationships?
No.
Why didn't you ask me? Chris.
Available now on the KD Comedy YouTube channel. You can check out future episodes on KD Comedy's YouTube channel. Yeah, man. We can jump into it. And I've got some food actually today. Yeah, I got my food. I can sit back.
What have you got?
I got
pasta.
I got back, and my mum had made me a cheese pasta bake.
Oh,
so I came to hers to do it again because her intent's way better than mine.
Good old Sandra. Thanks.
Good old Sally.
So I suppose I should jump in. I guess, but look at the pages, man. I'm gonna shorten this down, man. It's a pretty interesting one, and it involved a child of all things.
I ain't got nowhere else to be, man. I'm all ears. Don't worry.
Well, so basically, I've read about and seen some videos online about this quite a few times. It's quite an interesting one. So it's about the disappearance of Timmothy Pitzen. Now, one thing I want to point out: Timothy's name isn't spelled Timothy; it's Timothy. It's got an extra M. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but I've never seen Timothy spelled that way anyway.
No, that's fine.
So basically, all in all, I'll give you a short summary first, and I'll go into it. So on the 11th of May, Timothy, 6 years old, was dropped off in Aurora. This is in 2011. Sorry, 2011. He was dropped off at school in Aurora, Illinois, I should say, by his father, James Pitzen. And then, a short while after, he was picked up by his mother, who is Amy Fry Pitzen, who took him on a 3-day trip to various amusement parks, and I think there's a water parks involved as well that she took him to, which I've seen in other videos. So the weird thing is, the mother, Amy, her body was found in a motel room in Rockford in Illinois. Clearly committed suicide. The mother had committed suicide with a note stating that Timothy's is safe, but he'd never be found. So, what? What the hell? So, a bit about
bloody hell.
I know exactly. So the background is Timothy was born in October the 18th, 2004. Again in Aurora, Illinois. To parents,
It's always weird when it's a recent one, isn't it?
Yeah. So this happened. As we're saying, this happened in 2011. So where are we now? 2020. Nearly towards the end. 9 years. Yeah. So 9 years, man. But yeah, it seemed like he was, good kid. Everyone said he was really, really sweet kid. Amy and James, the parents, had a good relationship for quite a while. But they did have a few rough patches from what the reports say. and Amy also suffered from some depression.
Mm.
Now that I think that's where this, the suicide comes into play in this, where
Just a moment, what was going on with the kid at the time? Was it she had took him to the water parks and that?
So it states that so the father dropped him off at school.
Okay, and then she picked him up.
Yeah, so randomly between, where is it? So between 12 and 1:30. And this is
I misheard you. I thought you said the dad for some reason.
No, that's all right. So on May the 13th, the mother originally phoned several of the family members to say that her and Timothy are safe, and not in danger at all. And she just didn't get in touch with the husband, and he was trying to call her and all this sort of thing, and it was just so weird. And
you'd imagine she would naturally get to straight away.
Exactly. Yeah. So she just completely blanked him, and just phoned up. I think it was the father, James, his brother. She phoned him and said, "Yeah, we're fine. Everything's fine. We're okay. Everything's okay. We're just having a nice little time."
If anyone ever calls me just to tell me that they're doing fine, I'm like, I don't think you are in that case.
Well, no, and I guess that's where mental health kicks in with this, because who knows what she was going through. I mean, it states that she was on certain medications and stuff in a lot of reports, so we don't know where her mind was, man. But yeah, it's so where are we? So
she had just
so she collected him from school, just took him out of the class and was like, Timothy's coming with me, see you later.
It's the mom. She can do it easy.
I think it was like a family emergency or something. She said that to them.
I've never done that.
I don't think I've ever done that, and that's because I don't have children. So,
I was talking about I've never had my mom come into school and
no, yeah, same. I wish my mom would have done that a few times. There's a few points I'd like to take me out of school, but yeah, it was just a bit weird. Like, just randomly, your mum comes and says, "Right, son, we're going on a day trip," and so she's seen on the cameras taking him out of school, and between those times. And then on the evening of the 13th, security cameras actually capture her alone around 7:25 on a Family Dollar store in Winnebago. Weirdly, she purchased a pen, a notepad, and envelopes. I'm guessing maybe this is where she starts writing things about that Timothy's going to be safe. I don't know, but
getting the stuff with a note.
Yeah, bit weird. Like, why is she buying envelopes? Who's she going to post her?
That makes a lot of sense, because they try to make it look pretty. And that's one thing they always say about when a woman kills themselves on average in regards to when a guy does it. A guy just shoots his head off, doesn't care. A woman will lay in the bathtub or something, slit her wrist so that it's clean, doesn't make a mess. Yeah, and it's one of them things that weirdly is quite true.
Yeah, it's so strange. Like, the whole thing's just really weird. I don't quite understand why just randomly your mum would come and take you out of school after just oh, come on, son, let's go on a trip. But it was apparently she took him around those amusement parks and water parks, and apparently having a good old time. So, but yeah, and around about 8:00 that same day, on surveillance footage, it says here, she was sighted at Sullivan's food store in Winnebago. Again, Timothy was nowhere to be seen. She was just alone. And it was at that point around 11:15, she checked into the Rockford Inn in Rockford, and where sometime after she took her own life. It says here she actually overdosed on antihistamines, and she slit her own wrist. So you pull that out of the bag there. You predicted what she did.
There you go.
Flashing her
I'm
wrist.
guessing the antihistamines was something to do with thinning the blood, so it would probably bleed more.
I think that makes sense. But yeah, so overdose on antihistamines. I wouldn't have guessed that you could do that, to be honest. I've heard about people overdosing on paracetamol, but not antihistamines.
I mean,
so
you can overdose on anything technically.
It's true. It's true. Chocolate, you can overdose on chocolate. I've heard stories about eating too much chocolate. So
yeah, I think it's called sophisticated.
But we're so around 12:30 p.m. the next day, May 14th, a body was found by a hotel maid along with the note that she wrote. In the note, Amy apologised for the mess she had created and explained that Timothy would never be found, but was safe with people who would care for him. But who? Because she phoned her family members.
Yeah, all the family weren't aware.
Exactly. She didn't speak to the husband. What is going on?
And you'd imagine, like, if she sold it to someone, the kid to someone, which is what I naturally thought, it'd be like, well, why would you just kill yourself after? Like,
yeah, makes no sense. Just maybe she'd run off with them. I don't know. But there's loads of like theories about where Timothy is. Like, I think ones were obviously he's dead. Like he's dead. I mean, she's probably covered it up somewhere. I mean, she had some, mental health issues, sadly, suffered with depression. She could have just been out of her mind at the time.
it definitely sounds like that.
Well, yeah.
That's definitely involved.
I mean, another one that popped up was like she sold him to Amish people. I've seen this I think I saw it on Reddit, and I was like, nah, that's just crazy. But again, I think coming back to what you've just said there, maybe she sold him. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But
I mean, there's no other way that you could really say that he's been looked after by people, unless she killed him and in her head she's been looked after by angels. I don't know.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Or God or angels. Some people do claim that. So but yeah. So since May 11th, she took him out and he was dropped off at school. So it's over 9 years now that he's disappeared.
Has there been nothing since then?
Well, this is where we get to the beefy bit, Carl. I tell you.
Okay.
So there is a reappearance, and I do reappearance because I will say that everything was looked into. I'll go through a few of the investigation first. So basically, the police found the knife that she used on herself. Contained only her blood. None of Timothy's blood was found anywhere near the crime scene.
You'd imagine that knife would have been right next to her because she just... Well, then again, you don't instantly...
Maybe she was walking around. It doesn't actually say, which is weird.
You don't instantly bleed out anyway, to be fair. It's not like a film. It takes a while.
Well, that's it. But the concerning thing is there was an amount of blood found in the car that belonged to Timothy. Oh. So it's not looking good for Timothy. So, but yeah, however, this is where it gets even more weird. Like one of the family members, it doesn't say who, and it really annoys me. This does because it never says who. They reveal that Timothy actually suffered a nosebleed, and his nose poured out into the car. So maybe that's what that is. We don't know. We'll never know.
You mean that it was like a regular thing that he did, or he was?
I don't know.
It happened one time, so it might just be.
Yeah, just the one time. By the looks of it, it doesn't say if it was a regular occurrence or
either way, though. Yeah.
So, but yeah, weird. But so they looked into it. It's missing persons case as they all are. Nothing about Timothy.
Cold case, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cold case. Couldn't see anything until, and now. This is where it gets interesting. So basically, on the April 3rd last year, weirdly enough, there was a report from people in Newport, Kentucky, and they reported that a teenager wandering the streets after running across a bridge over the Ohio River. So they just saw him running around, and he looked a bit, distressed, distraught. Police approached the boy, and he actually told them he was Timmothy Pitzen.
Oh, so how old would he have been then? So it was 2011, and he was
6. Yeah, so he was 6 in 2011. How old would he be?
8 years later, any day.
Yeah,
14.
My math is 14. Yeah, well, my math is terrible, so I'll leave you on that one. So yeah, they did a few. They took him into custody, and and they did a few checks with him, and sadly, it turned out that it wasn't Timothy.
No. What the hell?
So get this though, it was a man by the name of Brian Michael Rinnie. He was 23 years old, and he'd just been released from Belmont Correctional Institution in Ohio, less than a month prior to this claim. So a month before, he was incarcerated. I don't think it says what for. Oh, burglary and vandalism. So he gets out and he's running around like a lunatic, going, "I'm Timmothy Pitzen."
That's very strange. Yeah, you gotta wonder: is there a reason behind that? Like, exactly why?
But if you look at the pictures, obviously we can't see them now, but if you do look at some of the pictures, he does look very similar to Timothy. So Brian does look quite similar, like the structure of the face. At height, for a 23-year-old, when I was looking at the photos, he's quite short. I'm quite a short guy, but if I shave my beard off and shorten my hair, I think I'd probably look a lot younger.
Like me.
So that's probably why people are like, oh, interesting to see, and that's probably why he's got a way around that. But it's just so weird. Why would he say, "Oh, I'm Timothy"? Maybe for publicity.
Yeah, unless he's just another crazy person. But you don't normally get that many crazy people in one story.
No, not really. Well, that's the thing. Like, this has happened before, where people have claimed that they're somebody else when they're not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Bobby Dunbar one with the? I think they did a movie about it called The Changeling with Angelina Jolie, like some years back.
I don't recognise this one.
Yeah. So I'll go into it quickly. Basically, Bobby Dunbar was like a young boy. He went missing, and then a few years later he turns up, and it turns out that he technically wasn't, like, they did all these tests on him and stuff and looked at like things like birthmarks and whatnot.
Yeah. And
he wasn't, but he had just grown up to replace Bobby.
Yeah. Was that the one where the mom was saying for a while that it wasn't?
Yeah, it's not my son. But then
she sent it to a crazy home until he eventually admitted it.
Yeah.
But what a dickhead!
I know, but then I think he just gets accepted as Bobby Dunbar. So, but yeah, I mean that's another case of like people pretending to be someone else. But
I was thinking of, when you said that, I was thinking of, have you ever heard the story of the I'm trying to think of the political correct way to say it. The little person, Ukrainian crazy girl.
Oh, like Orphan. But it happened. Did it happen before or after Orphan? Now I can't remember.
This happened I think 90s.
Okay.
The first part of it. It's been going on a while. It's like an ongoing thing. Yeah, because once they found out that she was older, an adult, they put her up in a place, and then gave her money, paid her rent and stuff, and then went to Canada because they're American, and then something to do with eventually they got done for it, saying they neglected their child, even though they were like, but it's not a child though. And it's still debate about it. But either way, she seems a lot older than she is, but it's whether she's a young adult or whether she's an adult,
Yeah. Is she still claiming she's a child though at the time when because didn't they go to court about it for neglect?
Yeah.
Well, man, that's a messed up story. I mean, it's messed up in Orphan anyway. So for that to happen in real life was just.
I don't think I've seen Orphan.
Bizarre. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting. Not the best film, but I mean, it's pretty creepy in places as well. And you just think, oh, what a sweet little girl, but no, not at all.
Did you like that? What was that horror film? Us. Was it?
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool, man. I love like doppelganger kind of stuff. So yeah, that's brilliant. Brilliant film. But yeah, man, this case is like, I mean, people, the parents, well, the father was, and his family were like, it's really nice that people are still looking into this case. Don't know where Timothy is, but with the hoax reappearance of Timothy, it's put like the story out there even more now. So it's helped get the case back on track again, I suppose. But it's so weird. I've seen it covered so many times, and it just baffles my mind. Like, where is this kid?
there's like not that much information from the sounds of it, is there?
No.
Like, and not really any theories in regards to where he is then?
No, not at all. I mean, it's quite a short story. Like, I mean, there's so much more information that we could go into, but it's just pages and pages.
Yeah.
You know. But to drop your kid off at school from your dad, he's left. Hours later, your mum picks him up.
Yeah, I'd like to know what the relationship was between the mum and dad. You know, that straight away seems a bit like, you know, going behind his back. What's going on there? You know.
Definitely. Well, apparently, from what I was reading, again, like internet, Reddit, everywhere I could find, they had a bit of a rocky patch, but it doesn't say what. It doesn't say what rocky patch. It doesn't say, you know, are they going to get divorced? They've had an argument. But...
Probably the rocky patch that she buried her son in.
yeah, man, totally. But yeah, that one, as I say, that one always crosses my mind from time to time.
I don't think I recognise that one either. So.
No, as I say, you'll have to have a look at those photos because the lad, it's just like you look at it and you think, oh yeah, but then you look even like closer into it and it's like, how could he get away with that? What would people think that's Timothy?
Completely different person. Yeah, I'll check that out properly in that case then. That was a good one though. Let me get back on the thing. Okay, does that mean it's my turn now then?
Yeah, man. Time for me to listen and shut up.
God, I cannot work Skype. Jesus Christ! Don't shut up though. If I don't know if you know about this, but ask as many questions and stuff as you want about this, because I will probably, most definitely, I will butcher this because there's a lot of information, and there's a lot of information, but it's not all in order, and it's certain things. There's a lot to it, but the basic story is the story of Bob Lazar and how it fits into recent developments in regards to proof of aliens now.
Okay. Yeah, I love aliens, so this will be an interesting listen for me.
So first of all, do you know who Bob Lazar is? Do you know anything at all about the person?
I've not really looked into him. His name's popped up a few times on videos I've seen though. So yeah, go for it.
Well, he is basically the reason that we know about Area 51 at all.
Okay.
I'll give a little info here about what it says about him on his Wikipedia. I did check it before. So, Bob Lazar, or Robert Scott Lazar, born January 26, 1959. I don't agree with this first line. Is an American conspiracy theorist. Is not. Who claims to have been. Okay, forget that. Hold on, let me go to the history first, because that's just getting into it too much, you know. Okay. Fuck, man. I really should check this. Okay, you know what? Fuck, I'm just going to go through it in my own words.
Go for it, man. That's what I ended up doing anyway.
Yeah. Okay then, so Bob Lazar then, he was just one of those, it was the 1959, so the majority of this takes place in the 80s and 90s really. During the 80s he went to, I saw the college there, what was it called? It didn't really matter that much if I can't find it again, but it was PS Junior College, and then he eventually went to Caltech. Doing all physics and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But he was known around his area as being the crazy rocket guy because he would he made his I can't remember what car it was, but he turned his car into a rocket car with a hydrogen rocket on the back as well.
I've seen this. Yeah, this is why it rings a bell. I've seen the YouTube videos.
Why my thing so
He's stuck.
There we go. Now I can move again. Cool. So basically, so he did that. And the long story short, basically what he said happened was he got hired by the government through Caltech to go and work on a secret project that they had. He had to, sign all the stuff to say he wouldn't let anything out. It was all compartmentalized, and he got given loads of information, and eventually he walked into... Well, he went to Area 51, and from there he went to a substation called S4.
Yeah.
Over Papoose Lake, and basically he walked in, and the first thing he saw was one of the times when he saw this particular thing for the first time in full was a big craft that looked like a UFO, and it had a American flag sticker on it, and he thought, oh wow, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
All these UFO sightings and stuff, it's just a modern ship that we've got, that they don't know about. And then basically he got told that no, that's not the case, that it's actually an ancient craft that they had, and basically he's there to reverse engineer it. So that's the basis of the story.
Yeah.
And long story short, he was doing that kind of stuff for a while. There's a lot in regards to how the craft works, but I won't get into that now because that kind of keys into something in a moment.
Fair. Is it to do with like stealth and that? I remember there was like, I watched a documentary like ages ago about that craft called stealth, and it was like that triangle shape or whatever. And like people kept saying that and were like, oh,
the stealth bomber thing.
Yeah, that one.
No, this basically was as far as he knows, it was from another world, basically, because the science in it. Well, basically, put it this way, it didn't have. The way he described it was, how every rocket nowadays or anything we use, the propulsion system, it's like reactive. It shoots fire from the one end, pushes it forward. This reacted in a different way. Basically, what he said was it used an element that they didn't know before, never seen, called element 115, and that was used to power this kind of reactor that was on it. I did write it down. That doesn't matter. The reactor, and basically, when the reactor was powered up, it'd be like, how you put two magnets together and they force away from each other. It'd be like that with your hand on it.
Okay, that's weird.
Because what it's actually doing is creating its own gravitational field.
Okay.
So it creates it around the whole of the craft, and then what it is essentially it's falling, but not falling at the same time because there's no resistance. So it's just I suppose it's more like it's moving it's almost more like it's moving the world around it.
Yeah.
But not at the same time.
That's weird, man.
Yeah, but so that's what he was saying. But I'm just letting you know, first of all, the stuff he was saying back in the 80s.
Yeah. And this is the 80s.
Yeah. He was also saying as well, like that element 115, but apparently he had it, and he did. Basically, he decided that people should know this, that should know about there's aliens and stuff. So he decided he wanted to talk to a news anchor person in secret because he feared of getting caught, because he had already started getting a few issues because the government people found out that his wife was cheating on him, and they were through like wiretaps, and they were scared that he was going to go crazy apparently, so it's weird.
That's bizarre, man.
That
weird.
But some of that stuff though, there's like some evidence for as well, but like other people saw it. But it's weird though. So he came out saying all this. Eventually his name came out. They knew who it was. He got let go from there and stuff. That was it. When he was telling the news anchor this, someone called George Knapp, he took him to the lab, and they walked through. He wanted to, prove first of all who he was, that he did work there. So he took him to Caltech, walked through, speaking to everyone that knew him, having conversations, walked straight through security, didn't even have to show stuff because they knew him. Went around, went straight to his lab. Loads of stuff like that. And then eventually it comes out that the government said, no, he'd never worked, he was never at Caltech. There's no mention of this ever. It had been just like taken away from his record, And he was eventually able to prove, like about 10 years later, from finding a phone book from the time, from finding a newspaper article that both, and there was something else as well, some kind of like register thing as well, that proved he was there,
What why would they just like say that though? Like
To discredit him.
Yeah, I was gonna say just to shove him away like under the carpet sort of thing.
Yeah. Which you get because like he's
if he's releasing that information.
Yeah.
Naughty boy.
But obviously, it's very easy to look at that and think, "Oh, it's probably bullshit,"
Yeah.
But since then, like in the 20 years, there's been a lot of stuff that has come out that really, really like, I don't know, like it. Well, first of all, okay, the element 115 that he was talking about didn't exist at this point.
Right.
It didn't exist at all. It'd never been proved. They never knew it. It was eventually created by a Swedish team about 10 years ago or something. Only for a few milliseconds.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, like when it's not stable and there's another word for it, but they got it for a few moments, so they proved it was real. So what he was saying, the way he described it and everything, was proved to be true.
Right.
And he apparently had some of this. That's why the government had raided his place a few times as well. But that's the only bit of the story he's taken back a few times, was that he's got some 115.
Yeah.
So he probably did at one point, but either way, it's been proved that it is true. He also talked about this hand bone scanner that they used to use as security to get in and out of the building, which since declassification of certain stuff in other buildings, that went in the same way, has been proved that was a real thing that they used.
Okay, man, that's creepy.
He took people to over Papoose Lake to show them the crafts flying in the sky for 3 Wednesdays in a row, exactly the right time, and they recorded it and everything. But back then, crap cameras, all you can see is a light in the sky moving around.
Yeah. So this scanner that you were talking about there, what would it actually do? You say bone scanner, like
so what bone density kind of scanner. So it's like looking like your handprint, your fingerprint, your finger length as well.
Yeah.
It was all that apparently. Apparently it's unique to everyone, like your fingerprint is.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
It's strange. See, like, no wonder, like, you see these, like, films, like, sci-fi films, and they get all this information and then just use it for their films, basically. I'm sure that happens. Like, sounds like Total Recall, where he puts, like, in the ball, but he has to, like, it's like the alien hand, so he has to put his hand in a certain way and press down on that ball.
Yeah.
To open it. I think it's Total Recall. But yeah, that's weird.
I think it is, yeah. It's like Roswell as well, is one you think of the most, because that's even stranger as well, like the fact that they say it's a weather balloon. Like, what? You don't know what the difference between a craft from a different world.
It's just crazy. That's such a terrible story. Like you'd know if it was like a weather balloon. Material would be the big key there, wouldn't it? I mean, the types of materials that you use for a craft compared to a weather balloon. Like, come on, guys, don't be stupid.
But that's the minor stuff anyway that was proved right from him. But there's a lot more. Have you heard of the Tic Tac or the Go Fast video?
No.
I heard about the 3 videos that were leaked and then confirmed by the Pentagon.
Don't think so. No.
I mean, if you're able to have a look on YouTube at the same time, then you can do. So they're short ones, but it's not a big problem if not, because they're like the Go Fast video, for example. All you can see is like, when you're looking through weapons systems.
Yeah.
And it's like, most people haven't got a clue what it means, but they're like following this one thing that's going at ridiculous speed, apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm just checking it out now. And it's
And apparently with, I was listening to someone that knows about it all, that were explaining what everything on the screen means, and basically saying the ridiculous speed that was going at. So that's one of them that's been confirmed as a sighting.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. That's weird.
The Tic Tac one is especially cool as well, because it does things and then it starts. Actually, no, I think it's not good. The other one, I don't know if there is a video, but it's not taken by this particular person. But Commander David Fravor, he talked about his experience, like what was going on with it and how it happened. Basically, they were on a training exercise.
Yeah.
Some part in the ocean, and they got told, okay, we have to abandon it because there's something, another craft not that far away. You need to go check it out. They didn't know that at the time that a different part of the government had actually been tracking this particular thing for 2 weeks because it kept appearing for 2 weeks, but because it wasn't a threat or something, or was a different part, they didn't feel like they had to tell it's one of them compartmentalized kind of shit, and secret as much as they can. But he got there, and basically he said he got to the area where he was supposed to go. There was nothing there, but then all of a sudden, the radar, the highest the radar can reach that they use is 80,000 feet above sea level, or miles above 8,000 feet. That sounds right, doesn't it? Yeah. So right on the edge of space, and they said basically this thing came right from the edge of space down to sea level in a second and just stopped, motionless, just stopped.
Yeah.
And then just started, if you imagine how he described it was, get a ping pong ball, put it in a pint glass, shake it about, and it's going like that everywhere, That's what it was doing.
Yeah.
And then shut off somewhere again.
That's crazy. I've just seen that TikTok video as well. That's just mad.
And these have now been confirmed by the Pentagon to be real, which is a crazy thing that I think.
Definitely.
This isn't even new. Like, this is months and months ago that this happened.
Yeah.
It's like 2019 at some point.
Wow. That's.
But the thing that go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say I need to look up more about stuff like this. Like, I do find like stuff like this interesting, but I think there's only so much I've looked into it, to be honest, because things like Roswell and like the Phoenix the Phoenix one, it's brilliant in '97. Oh man, they've done so many like films as well, like Area 51. They've done that. I don't know if you've seen that handheld camera type found footage film called Area 51. Again,
I like those ones though, but no, I haven't seen that.
Check it out, man. It's a really good film. It's pretty dark as well, bit creepy in places.
I like them kind of ones. I'm a horror fan too. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not the best film, but I mean, for interest in Area 51, that's a good one. But I need to
be fair, if you're a horror fan though, you never expect them to be the best films because most horrors are terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I like any low budget film, to be fair. That's a horror, so it doesn't have to be top end. It is, man. I
could tell that you're more of a B movie horror fan.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, mate, 100%. But I'll have to look into that more because
But I mean, I think it's really interesting though, is that everything he said basically, because this thing like came up to him as well and then flew off. Everything he said about the way it moved and everything that's shown about the way it moved and the propulsion system it used completely confirms Bob Lazar's point about how this craft worked at that point.
Yeah, 100%.
What they knew about it. Yeah, it completely fits. So that's another part of it. But there's since those videos as well, there's been a lot more documents that have been forced to be released by the Pentagon. I feel like I'm not saying that right. Pentagon.
I think it's where you're from. Pentagon. I'm sure it's. Isn't it A?
I'm thinking of Pentagon Junior from AEW. That's why.
Nice. Yeah, Pentagon. Pentagon. Whatever.
But there's been even more stuff now that's been released. Like have you heard of Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah, I love Skinwalker Ranch. That's brilliant.
I don't know too much about that because I know they weren't able to get that much evidence because of how smart they think the things there are.
Yeah. The amount of information from Skinwalker Ranch is incredible. Again, they've done a film about that. I think it was just called Skinwalker or Skinwalkers. But there's a documentary that came out like 2 years ago about it. And again,
it's taken over by government now, so there's some stuff that they've figured out as well.
Exactly.
It's really interesting because that goes into the idea between the ghosts and aliens are one and the same.
It does.
It's an interesting concept, that is.
Also, like possession as well. There isn't there like a story about that wolf or something trying to attack them, and he ends up like shooting at it, or I can't remember now. something comes out of nowhere, like a big black beast, it's bigger than a wolf, just out of nowhere starts to attack them, and I think they end up like shooting it and it runs away or something. But yeah, crazy Screamwalker is. I love that.
There's part of the literally a couple of days ago there was some new documents released that it's to do with the New York Post. They're actually working with Pentagon to like slowly release more of this information, because it's now, you know, they're not denying it at all these documents are saying they're confirmed 100% that for the past like 70 years we've been taking this seriously, and every time we get a report of something like this happening, we have gone and done an investigation into it. We have spent billions of pounds in the budget each time. You know, all these figures have come out now, and they've also said in one of the documents as well, we have a craft that we are trying to figure out how to backwards reverse engineer. But they're just having issues like crazy with it, because it's like throwing a motorbike into a fucking cage full of chimps.
Yeah. That makes sense. Which is a good little analogy.
I stole that. But that's you know, like, this is all pointed out now, like it's all in black and white, and it's like I can't see any reason why they would try and make that out and go through the effort of trying to hide something.
Yeah.
And saying being forced to release the facts, you know, it just doesn't make sense why it would be bullshit, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
They were never planning to bring it out, and then it's just really interesting. I generally wouldn't be surprised if, you know, within our lifetime something legit happens like that.
Yeah, well, you never know. It sounds like they're stepping closer to it, so we can only see. I mean, the amount of reports of like UFOs. I mean, there's one even like in the 40s or 50s that I can't remember what his name was now. We can come back to it with it.
Yeah.
But he was like reporting back to his base, and it was like green lights flashing all around him, and it's like a metallic thing that he can see. And then I can't think who it was or his name, but it'll come back to me. But then his craft just disappears, like he's never to be seen again.
The guy.
Yep.
Wait, in a plane or something.
Yeah, so he's out on.
He's reporting it at the time, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's out and about. I can't remember, training, exercise, whatever.
Yeah, fine.
Going around, reports back to a base, says, you know, I can see these flashing lights, and then disappears, nowhere to be seen again. I can't think of what his name is now, but it'll come back to me. But there's just too many reports just like that. Just, you know.
There's even more, because I just thought of something else from this other document that I watched that fits in with it, because it's the same guy, Jeremy Corbell, that's helping Bob Lazar. Even I don't like him very much, to be honest, though.
Okay.
Jeremy Corbell, he kind of annoys me a bit, but he's good at what he does, so, you know.
What does he annoy you?
Just no reason. I think just him, the way he is. You know, he's I don't know. But he's good at what he does, so I enjoy watching him still.
Fair. Got you. Yeah. That makes sense. I see YouTubers like that. I kind of hate them. Yeah. I like their content, so I end up watching anyway. So
yeah. That's what I'm hoping. No, but this was another one of his, and it kind of fits in with it. Basically, he was talking to different people that believed that they were abducted at certain times, you know, and one of them basically eventually had something happened to one of his leg, and he went for an X-ray, and then they found out. It was like, hold on, you got a random piece of metal in your leg.
Oh no.
Yeah, and they eventually, basically, you know, they got it out and stuff.
Yeah.
He said, you know, like about this story and that, like about the aliens, and they thought, well, we never know. Let's see. That was it. So before they took it out, they realised they held like something go over it, and they could tell it was emitting some kind of radio signal. Yeah. They just didn't have a clue what it meant. And then they eventually got it out, and then they sent it for some independent checks to like 3 different. They were like FBI level, you know, like something. And basically they said, if you look at a metal compound, the most complex metal compound that we can make.
Yeah.
In the world, it's been like something to do with like it's like a composite of 8 different elements to create one metal. But they were like, but this one is about 26 different elements, and it was something like 7 of them can't even be found on this world.
What the hell?
Yeah, and
what?
Basically, it ended with, we have no idea what this is, but there is no explanation.
Well, yeah, there is no explanation, but
yeah.
Let's hope there is one day. But imagine being told that, oh, you've just got a bit of metal and you don't know what it is. Could be anything. I don't know.
Well, there's this one old guy that like collects it. He's got like loads of these things. Like he's got quite a few from different people. Yeah. Like I can't remember his name, but if the documentary was Patient 17, so it wouldn't be that hard to find.
Oh, I think was that on Netflix? Not
it's
too
on
long
Netflix,
ago. Yeah. I did see it like pop up, and it's one of those times where you're just like, oh, that looks good. I'll come back to it, and you know.
The Bob Lazar one is on Netflix. Like, if you're gonna watch any, I'd recommend watching that one because I probably completely butchered the story. I guarantee. After we finished. Well, I'll think of loads of stuff that I didn't mention.
Come back to it. No, that's fine. I'm just going to find.
Like the way that they used to fuck with him as well. Like they used to come in and apparently break into his house and open every window and every drawer and all that kind of stuff. So he'd wake up in the morning and just blatant the people had been in, making a point that we get to you. You know, do the same thing with his car as well.
Just to mess with his head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's weird, isn't it? Like, there's as we're going back to it, there's so many reports of like sightings and everything happening. It just, as you say, I don't think it'll be long now before they find out and work out what what the hell's going on. Man, like,
I always had the opinion that there must be aliens out there. Statistically, there just has to be. It makes no sense that there's nothing special about us and where we are in regards to the whole universe,
Well, yeah, exactly.
The only special thing about where we are is just in regards to our solar system, but they said there's like billions of planets in the same situation. So
not if you believe in flat Earth. That's another story, though.
Yeah, that was the day that I lost a lot of respect for AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What
were you going to say? Sorry.
I was just going to say, although he doesn't believe it, he just thinks they have a lot of good points. Apparently.
I mean, there's some points in there, but is it true? No, not really.
there's some points in Christianity, but it doesn't make it any more true.
Well, that's it. That's the thing. It's all based on faith, anyway, isn't it? Like most things. Like some people who believe in aliens don't believe in ghosts, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Or think you're crazy for believing in ghosts or aliens, but then you're like a really religious person. It's like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't discredit anyone who wants to have a faith or religion.
Oh, I do.
Entirely up to them. But literally, like, it's the same for people who want to believe flat Earth. I think it's crazy, to be honest. I really do. But some of the points, okay, fair enough. But it's not fair enough. It's proven, Yeah,
it's not even science that they use, man. It's like it's like pure word salad, isn't it?
It is.
Phrase.
It is.
And it's just annoying. It's like people think they can have an opinion about facts. You can't have an opinion about facts. Facts are facts.
Facts are facts. That is true. Yeah. I mean, again, going back to Netflix, there's that. Is it Beyond the Curve, behind the curve? Can't remember what it's called now. That's the Flat Earth Society people on Netflix. That's it. Yeah. And at the very oh man, it's brilliant. Like the guy's really interesting. He sells his points really well. There's still a load of rubbish, if I'm honest, but
gotta respect it.
Yeah, definitely. And they go on about it. They've got this society. People talk about it. They do talks about it all the time. Where they can go forward with it. It's like a way of living. And they get to the very end and they do a test. I'm terrible with science, but they do a test at the very end. I'll leave it with you there because if you do go and watch it, I just want to see what you think. But basically,
what kind of test was it though? Because I guarantee I'll laughing at it the whole time, and I probably won't watch it.
You will, you will. But it's basically to see, like the point in time where they, I can't think what they did with it now, but it's to look down this river, and it's to see, how can I explain it?
It's like trying to figure out like if the world was going round and you'd see something different from where you are.
Basically, so where the points in time are. So basically, if it was flat, they put two like almost like telescopes that they've made, and they think that they should be able to see certain points.
Yeah.
And then it turns out like you can't see the other one because of the curve of the roundness of the Earth because of You know.
I think the best one of them I ever saw was when I think it was a Discovery Channel thing, and they took a flat Earth one. They actually got him. He actually admitted, you know what, I was wrong.
Really?
Yeah, because it was so simple. All they did, they just had two lasers, and they had one set up, on the coast, one set up on a boat, really far away, and they said they're the same height, from sea level. So if it's flat, like you said, they should meet, but there was a huge difference,
Yeah, I think it's pretty. I think it was pretty much the same thing they were using, but
same concept either way.
They were trying to see like the points of like this. I think it was a telescope. It may have been a laser. I can't remember now. It's been.
It might be the same thing, to be fair.
Probably exact same thing. But it was hilarious, like just watching it and going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Like the fact that you need that pointed out to you as well.
They gone messed up now.
But to be fair, people always say, NASA would definitely write and all that. It's like apparently they missed the whole star sign until recently.
Yeah, what's that about? I don't want to be a Libra after 29 years of being a Scorpio.
I love it, I do, because like the amount of people that used to walk around like really believing in a star sign, like, oh, it fits me so well. Oh, that's fucking bullshit, isn't it? Then now, it's like, I'm such a Libra. No, you're not.
Just going on the metro, like picking up the metro paper, reading what the star sign says today. Oh, I'm going to have someone come into my life. Yeah. I'm reading the wrong one now. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah,
it's not like that you can fit in. They can all fit into your life in some way at all.
Well, exactly. Yeah. But I don't want to be a Libra. I'm definitely a Scorpio.
I can't even remember what I am now. I was an Aries. What am I now? Let's have a look. Actually,
is it like the one? Mine's just like that one before, basically, that I would be.
Yeah, I can't think what the one before Aries would be, though. I don't know the order or anything.
I don't either, to be honest, but...
Yeah, I don't even care now. I lost caring. I lost all...
I lost count. When are you born, man?
23rd of March.
Yeah, I remember it being March.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah, because ironically, this year, my birthday was on the day everyone went to lockdown.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, you would be a Pisces, I think.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
But hold on a sec. Aries.
I do have fish lips.
Is that the new one? I've never noticed.
Yeah, there's a new one, and one of them, I forget which one it is now. It's been relegated to only having like 5 days.
What?
Yeah,
I would have.
I can't remember which one. I've got it written down actually in my notes because I was writing a bit about it.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. I'm sure I've got it on here somewhere. Lockdown, fear of going commando, political sex, people contradiction. What the fuck is this? Best thing. Oh fuck no! That's why it takes me so long to fucking write a set when it comes to it. I didn't get to do that Portsmouth one in the end, so I'm still waiting on my first gig now.
What? I thought you had one this Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday, yeah.
No. This Saturday, I was on about doing the bush with
the Holly Bush, yes.
Yeah, but he's already full for that. But I'm gonna go down anyway because last time I went, I got offered a slot anyway because a few people dropped out. It's usually how it goes.
Yeah. That's cool.
But then I'm doing Thursday as my definite first proper gig anyway.
Okay. Well, good luck, man. Where's that at? Is that?
Thursday, that'll be the Holly Bush.
Got you. I see.
Yeah.
It's Holly Bush as well. Didn't you go down to Portsmouth?
That's what I'm saying. The Portsmouth one I didn't actually get to do in the end.
Got you. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because me and the guy were doing it all like I was going to videotape it all and we was doing a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
And when he offered me to come to gig, because he's the one that told me about this, he was like, you could jump in the car with me and that. And I didn't realise, because we was literally talking 2 days before about how broke I was, and I had to pay I had to sell something to get the money for the platform I used the quiz on. I didn't realise that he'd expect like £25 on the day to get up there and that. And I was like, oh shit, man. I felt like such a dickhead as well for not thinking about it,
Yeah, but it probably wasn't made that clear.
It wasn't, but I should have thought about it too. But either way,
Fair.
Fair. It was like, with the kind of gig it was as well, I was like, I don't really think it's worth £25 anyway.
No, that's fair. That makes sense. That makes sense. How was your quiz offs going at the moment?
Good, man. The one this week.
I didn't watch this week's. I watched last week's one. Was it last week's? Yeah, I watched last week's one.
You'd probably really like the first round this week.
Okay.
For the one yesterday, because it's named that pop song where I think I told you earlier actually, where I take like pop songs in heavy metal and then
I know. I'll have to have a look at it. I did see you posted it. I haven't watched it just yet. But
the one good thing about it is last week, like, because the views have been going up bit by bit quite well on it since it's been on Joke Piss.
Yeah. What's Joke Piss? Is that like a comedian sort of Spotify essentially?
Or no, Joke Piss like a Facebook page, but
a Facebook page. Got you.
Yeah. They've got like 50,000 followers though.
Fair.
So it's a good audience there.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's bro.
And some of the highest ones are like 5,000. And last time I only got to like, after 5 days, I got to like 440 views, something like that.
Yeah.
But for this week's one, last time I checked, which was about 7, so about 24 hours after it was started, it had like 558 views. So, I've already...
Yeah, fair play.
So hopefully, it might keep going.
Definitely.
I might accidentally say something I shouldn't say, and then everyone will hate me. I don't know.
Get kicked off, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Or you'll be picked up about something you said 10 years ago, and then get kicked off. Yeah.
Fucking Sammy Guevara, me.
Sammy Guevara.
Why can't I say words today? God.
But man, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to start looking at that though. To be fair, like there's definitely some good stuff. So yeah, most of it all seems to be on Netflix and YouTube. So I'll Bob Lazar.
I already know what I'm going to use for the next podcast one.
I do.
Yeah, true crime kind of cult story that I really like. That was going to use originally for this one, but I just didn't get. I need to properly write the story for that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think I've got some ideas for mine, but no.
I'll go first next time, so it's only fair.
Yeah, that's fine. I need to like to get it all set a bit better, because I just printed some stuff off and just read out as much as I could.
Yeah.
But
man, I don't think either of us got the story exactly right, but it felt entertaining, so whatever.
Just go and read Reddit for stuff like this. It's fine.
There you go. Yeah,
we'll give you the information.
Exactly. Watch the proper documentaries, then watch us.
That's it.
See the proper information, and come to us to just
the sketchy details. Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to do when you're free for next week, or are you good to do next week, or
pretty much, man? I'll probably be the same if you want. The only day I'd be busy is Tuesday when I've got band practice. So yeah, everything else is fine. So yeah, just let me know what you think.
Preferably for me, maybe Friday, or because I'm going to do the gig on Thursday. So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thursday. So
Friday. That's fine. Friday sounds good, man. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we'll speak before that. Sort it out anyway. Then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. I'll get this edited then, and then I'll let you know in a few days when it's up or something.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for having me. And
no, man. Thank you. It's our thing at the moment anyway. So
yeah, man. Definitely. Yeah. Well, I'll catch up with you next week, and
cool.
Have a good scratch of my head to find out what I'm going to talk about next. It'll probably be
what you're going to say then, a good scratch. I was like, okay.
It'll probably be something similar, to be honest, because that's all I tend to watch these days anyway.
Anything interesting is fine by me, so cool. And true crime, I'm always into that. So
yeah, man. I might even mix sports with true crime. There's plenty of those out there.
I was listening to Michael Jordan's dad.
Oh,
story of him.
yeah, that was on my list to do. I nearly did that over this one, but I actually pulled that up in one of my quizzes when we're doing lockdown quizzes. But yeah, again, another story to get into. But Michael Jordan's dad is just horrific, to be honest.
We'll hold it back though for when we get into it one time. Yeah.
We will.
All right, cheers, then, man. That was fucking fun, man. I'll speak to you soon and that then.
All right, dude. Thanks.
Cool. Take care, man. Peace out.
Peace, see you, man.
Oh, I can't move my mouse. What the fuck's going on? This is supposed to be a new laptop. There we
see
go.
you, dude. Take it easy. Cheers.
Never ever ask if you'll be mine. Blank my blank. This is life.
Touch my bum. This is life.
And welcome to KD's Comedian Quiz Off, the show where I take 4 of the UK's top comedians, pit them against each other to see whose brain is better at withholding useless information for all of your enjoyment, basically.
If I bash my tits, will you let me?
Simon, you're going to kick yourself. $39.99.
I was going to put $39.99. Oh, fuck this.
Awkward weird.
Are you still in relationships?
No.
Why didn't you ask me? Why didn't you ask me? Chris.
Available now on the KD Comedy YouTube channel. You can check out future episodes on KD Comedy's YouTube channel.